You're trying to like stop the undead curse, I think.
Yeah, but that's as much deep as it gets. It's not like,
they set up the universe a bit. Like there was.
I watched the opening cutscene.
So
and
there
were demons.
First there was Void, and then there were these guys.
Right, there was the light, and then there was darkness, and then there's these guys that you'll probably fight at some point.
Like, there's death.
Yeah,
and then there's
witch,
the sun.
Yeah,
whatever.
There was demons, and now there's darkness.
And now there's souls, right?
But there've always been souls.
It's all nonsense.
So wait, so what are you up to? Did you get the Drake sword?
I just got the Drake sword.
Great.
Which makes
The
it
real
feel
Dark
like I am
Souls starts
cheating
here.
at Dark Souls.
You can't cheat at Dark Souls. Rule number 1, you can't cheat at Dark Souls.
It was taking like 6 hits to kill the most basic enemy. And now I can one-shot everything except for like the kind of semi-boss characters. And
yeah.
It just feels cheap now.
You haven't gone far enough.
No?
No.
Alright.
It'll change back, don't worry.
I feel like it's not the real experience.
That sword, I think, is intentionally put there. I think it's a fantastic early game sword.
Yes, it's so clearly obvious that if you just shoot this dragon in the tail from underneath the bridge for about 10 or 15 minutes,
that
you'll
tail
get
is
this
just
amazing
hanging
sword.
right in front of you. So but the thing is, that sword doesn't scale as you level up. So if you were to get that later on in the game, unless you were like a really weak character, you'd have way better weapons. So most of the weapons scale up, and that doesn't scale with any strength attributes or anything. So you're stuck at like 200 the entire time.
No, that makes sense.
But it's great for a long time.
It kind of feels like Dark Souls training wheels.
Yeah,
except you have to kind of go through some shit to get there.
Yeah,
but
I find Dark Souls a lot easier than Demon Souls.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's better at it, leading you in the right direction.
I don't know about that. I just got through the Undead Burg, and now it's Undead Parish or Darkroot Basin, I think is the other one.
I don't remember what the Undead Parish is.
Where we went to it in the quick look. It's where the armored boar thing is.
Oh yeah, you should just do that.
There's a Black Knight on top of the tower.
Don't fight the Black Knight.
No, I tried.
You can.
Fuck that guy.
I beat him eventually by cheesing him, which is pretty much the way I play Dark Souls.
Yeah, so there was a comment on the forums from some guy going, "I'm not very good at Dark Souls. I'm just good at exploiting this game's terrible AI."
Yeah.
First response was, "That means you are good at Dark Souls."
I buy that. Yep.
Yeah.
Most of the enemies I've beaten that are big was by trying to find a way to, I feel like a lot of that stuff is intentional in there though. Like you need to find. I do. I really do.
Come on.
There is a
like
giant
stuck on the environment. And
no,
like,
not
like
that stuff. No. Like I got a guy to chase me in the boss. So they lock you into the boss area when you go in, right? You go through, traverse the white fog, whatever.
Yes.
And then the door seals back up, so you can't escape.
Right.
So you're in the boss zone. I had a guy that was just tremendous. He was called, his boss name was Ceaseless Discharge, and this giant lava monster. And he was huge. I was about the size of his thumb. And he'd kill me in one shot every time. And I was like, well, this sucks. But I was able to lead him back towards the door, which is locked. I can't get out, so I'm trapped in there.
Yeah.
And then he fell down a bottomless pit. And he died.
All right.
So there's no way that you like put this bottomless pit there.
You're right about that.
So there is stuff like that where I feel like once you figure out like how to beat a boss, you might find like a super easy way to do it. I mean, that might be the only way you could beat. I read something, and I think it's true. If you can hit it, you can kill it in Demon Souls and Dark Souls, right? So even if you take 1 damage off,
like if you're just really good at rolling around, you can evade.
You could be really good and kill it.
Yeah.
And plus, people will try to kill it.
Sure.
And I feel like that's the way. Like you just find out, like, oh man, I took damage off. Fuck, now I know I can kill this thing, and you'll just try and kill it forever.
How many things do you run into that you don't do damage to that you can't kill?
No, everything. Yeah. Well,
frequently. Even where I'm at.
Everything, but you'll see things that you can't reach.
Okay.
So like that's like if you can reach it, like people will just buy 1,000 arrows and sit there and try and kill a thing.
Yeah.
But some things you just can't.
I saw some people saying they were killing the dragon with 1 arrow, like weird stuff like that.
Like
that's other exploit.
I think that's a glitch actually. So I think that's broken because I hit the dragon and he tried to land on the bridge.
Yeah.
And then he clipped through the bridge.
Yeah. The theory I read that is that he somehow gets displaced outside the level, and the game just assumes that he's
right. That's different. I think that's broken.
Great,
awesome. But that works when that happens. I will take that point.
Trust me, you're so anxious at that point that you're just glad that it's gone.
Yeah, any exploit or any bug, I'll take it, man. As long as it falls in my favor, like whatever.
I have to say I've never played a game that was so able to just inspire abject fear in you constantly, all the time. Like
You should play more roguelike.
No matter what's going on.
Because they're all like that.
Yeah,
all that permadeath stuff. Like
and
it's
that's
all
even worse because you can't.
Yeah.
You're just done. So are you enjoying what you're playing?
I don't know that I would say that I love it, but at least I am starting to understand.
I'm like, I have good days and bad days.
Yeah. Totally see that. I was up till like 1 o'clock last night, just trying to find something to do that was not that first 5 minutes of the Undead Burg over. Like I must have gone through that like 20 times,
Right.
or something. I don't know if is that an uncommon experience.
No, that's why like
that's what you
when
do,
we were
right?
standing over your shoulder, be like,
Yeah.
all right, kill that guy's going up the stairs.
Like I got to the
now
point
get
where
the guy, the archer over there.
like I could get through all of those enemies to the tower where
Because you've seen that a million times
Yes.
yourself.
A million times.
what's the guy's name? Hovel. At the
Oh,
bottom,
yeah.
at the bottom of the tower.
I mean, that's
Like that
one of those
run-
things where you just you can fight him or not.
Like that run up to that tower, I could practically do with my eyes closed at this point, without taking any hits or anything.
That guy's got a good ring.
And then you get to the I know I found that out after trying to beat him about 12 times. And then I beat him. It's pretty awesome.
So, Brad, you going to keep playing Dark Souls?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with it.
You get some good stuff.
Yeah,
It kind of is a loot game.
kind of. Yeah,
Yeah,
I found a better shield than that one that you already said was a pretty good shield, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, and you'll keep that sword for a while.
Yeah.
But you'll get some cool armor and stuff like that. And armor makes the weapons and loot make a big difference. Like you're basically leveling to use that stuff, and it's really. What are you playing as?
I started a warrior.
Okay.
I think.
So you have no magic at all? You're all melee?
No, I've been dumping all my points into strength and endurance and vitality. Yep.
I'm at a point now too where I've got 3 terrible options of where I can go. I can go into this place called Valley of the Titans or Giants. It's pitch black. Can't see anything.
Just get a torch.
I think there's like a lantern you can get.
Even with your like default glow.
Yeah.
You think it's weird how your guy is like an automatic light source?
That works out.
Yeah.
So like it's pitch black, and also you're like on like beams.
Great.
So and also there are guys jumping at you. So
no, I'm not going to keep playing.
So that's a terrible place. I'm at a place where that ceaseless discharge was just full of dudes that are way too powerful. Or I'm at a place where you have to fight ghosts that you can't lock onto or hit or block unless you have this temporary curse on. So I don't know. I'm at a bad place. Now I'm just grinding and trying to level up.
That's the thing when it when it gets really repetitive and you're just grinding and you're playing through the same thing over and over and over again. It's kind of hard to stick with.
Yeah, I found
Sounds
a
like
great
Dead
place
Rising
to grind
taken to
at.
extremes.
Kind of.
It's a good grinding place.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean,
It's fantastic.
is it the one in the forest?
Yes.
That's like basically another exploit, right? I read about it a little bit, and it sounded like you were just.
If that's the rules of the game they set up.
I mean, it's in there.
not
If you
really
can
an
throw, it's
exploit.
not an exploit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, throwing's not cheap. But you get like 2,000 souls per guy, and
Yeah.
you can basically get 10,000 in 2 minutes. That just
Jeez.
going at it.
And then do you just like go to a bonfire,
It's
cause
just-
everybody to respawn, and then do
Yep.
it again?
Yep, there's a bonfire. But the thing is, like now I'm at the point where it takes 20,000 to level up.
Yeah.
So it's starting to take a little too long to do. So that's when I called it quits. So I'm at level 60-ish, 59, 60. I'm ready to move on.
I have to say, I should be the one representing Vinny's time because I basically didn't know that I wanted to keep playing that game until Friday morning when you stood there for like, 20 minutes?
Trying
Just
to tell you.
explaining every stupid little thing that the game doesn't
It's
even
weird,
bother
yeah.
conveying to you.
Yeah, it's weird watching somebody else play, and
Yeah.
you'd never played Demon Souls.
No, I had
and, like,
no idea. I was
right.
like, why do I need humanity again? And what is
Well, that's not-
kindling?
that's not a
and
Demon
when would I
Souls
want
thing,
to
but-
reverse hollowing?
But like backstabbing and rolling and keeping
Yeah.
your shield up and all those concepts, which
Like
are
like knowing that you can attack with the spear from behind the shield.
right.
Like
Or
I saw,
knowing
it, I
that,
saw it in that quick look, but I didn't appreciate why it mattered.
or knowing that your rolling's going to slow down
Yeah.
if you're over.
Yeah, they don't. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't crack the manual. I don't know if that. would
It's
help.
it's mostly
not, yeah,
online
yeah.
stuff.
There's no manual to crack.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I,
It's
I
fun.
do like the idea of just putting out a game and saying here it is, and not explaining a lot of the stuff and that notion, because it is very kind of classic.
Yeah, like very old.
It's like
You need a hotline.
like a old RPG type
Yeah.
stuff, but also like think about stuff like Mortal Kombat, just like fatalities and finishers and all that stuff, like all the stuff about combos and things about fighting games of that era that had to be kind of passed along, the oral legend.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the state of the stuff online now.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard you talking about that, the first thing I thought was Kanomorph. Like, it totally
exactly.
feels
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And even like the things that you would assume would have it by now, like wikias and stuff like that, like totally or like
Piece it
help,
together.
help us fill in this page, and like nobody. I don't know how I get the eggs off my head.
I did, but
I did, but I killed my first NPC accidentally, and it sucked.
Wait, how does what?
There's a dude blocking my path. He looked like a bad guy. I hit him with a sword, and then he was like, "Oh!" And then I was like,
questions later.
And that was like just any quest pathing that you were gonna do there is gone.
"Well, he was still blocking my path," and he said like he looked like exactly like every other bad guy I've seen, and those bad guys never attacked me before either. So it wasn't like, well, this guy's not aggressive. That's weird because they all just sat there and did their thing.
Yeah.
And then he had eggs all over his back, and
You
he
can't
was like,
talk to it.
I couldn't talk to him, so I walked up to him, and I was like, oh, "You're gonna move because you're in my way, and there's
Right.
something behind you." And he didn't move, and then I hit him with the sword, and then he was like, "Oh no, the witch, he's coming for you!" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm here to kill a witch. Like, let's move." So I hit him again, and he died, and then that's when I think I got cursed with the eggs on my head. The shitty thing was, I'm a pyromancer. That guy sells you pyromancer spells. Now he's dead, and so your first instinct is to be like power, and they'd be like, but it saves.
Yeah.
The game is just trolling you. The whole
Totally
way.
was like
Every step of the way, it is just mocking you.
it was. I felt really. I almost stopped playing because I was like, really, I can no longer. You can't buy these 2 spells from anybody else, and it's like that's it. He's dead.
I imagine that's a nightmare game to like try and write a guide or a fact for, just because of how much random shit there is, and there being no. It seems like there's no good, meaningful way to try and like replicate behavior.
Well, also, yeah, I mean, especially like if you have developers that are deliberately trying to make it hard to write a guide for it and not cooperating with guide people.
Sure.
Then yeah, I mean that's the game they want to make. They probably don't want a guide. It's just the business crap that is surrounded video games compels the publisher to we made a deal for the official guide.
Forget the official guide. Just like if you're going to try and write a fact on the internet, just like
right.
Well, there's all these. I think
just trying to do fact checking on what is it that actually causes this? What are the actual systems at play in Dark Souls?
So people have started finding some stuff out, and there is like Demon Souls. There's like the game definitely lends itself to replaying because there are different sequences you can do to trigger different things. Like do this area first, and this NPC won't be hostile, or like do this other area first, and you can talk to the guy and get this thing, but then you can't join this thing. So there are different scenarios with the way they play out. But man, you have one save. You can never retry anything, so you're gonna have to play through the game, a New Game Plus or something like that, just to see these different scenarios. And I think that's why there hasn't been a lot of information, or at least YouTube movies up there yet, because if you didn't catch it on your first playthrough, you're playing through the entire thing again to capture this fight. I found a mimic, a chest, only one of them. I went to go get something out, and the chest ate me. I've never seen it happen again.
One bite, just dead.
I think I lived through the bite, but like, not in the game anywhere else. There's just one stupid chest in this tower that was full of other shit, and it was even Jesse just coming over. This is just mean. It's just totally mean because you're like low on health already, and it's just like, what? This is new.
So, Brad, what do you say? Is it your 2011 game of the year?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You know what? Yes, because I think it will murder me if I don't say that.
The great thing is that chest gave me an awesome spear. Now I'm using that spear to kill guys.
I heard it's way easier if you have a complete Chrome Hound save.
It'd be hard to get now. The server's been down for a while.
Yeah, see?
Start the game in a mech.
We'll just start all these great Dark Souls rumors.
Brad, you want to talk about Dead Rising?
Yeah, what a strange product that is.
So Dead Rising 2 off the record.
Speaking of...
that's coming out this week.
Speaking of weird Japanese and Japanese style
are we
games...
like 9 months after the release of... When did Dead Rising 2 come out?
It's been just over a year. It was like September last year, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Although, if you think about it, give or take a few weeks, this is the 4th product called Dead Rising 2.
Right, we had Dead Rising 2 Case Zero, Dead Rising
year.
2, Dead Rising 2 Case West.
Case West, and now off the record.
So, this is Dead Rising 2, where they have replaced Chuck Green with Frank West, the protagonist from the original Dead Rising 2.
Emphasis on this is Dead Rising 2.
Is it an alternate universe?
Yes. Dead Rising, like the original Dead Rising 2, never took place as far as this is concerned.
Okay, so even Case West, that is...
the opening scene of this
I don't know what that was.
The opening scene of this is Frank West in, like, the Murder Dome.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's the opening scene from Dead Rising 2,
More or less. They do a good job of giving him an arc, giving you a sense of what's happened since the first game.
Okay.
He became a reality television star.
Perfect.
Okay.
They show him stepping out with some pretty ladies and signing autographs. And then something goes bad. They don't get into it, but there's a scandal.
Uh-oh.
And then all of a sudden, he is in a wife beater in his apartment, drinking Jack out of the bottle, and getting fat, and then hawking baldness remedies.
Do they work?
And then he goes on Terror is Reality to try to reignite his star.
And so the progression of the game is the same as the
And yeah,
Chuck Green.
and then once you're back in the game, a few things change here and there. But like, I haven't finished it yet. I should say I've only seen up through probably not even quite half of the actual story, because it's got the it's straight up Dead Rising. You start
the
over,
same
you
cast of
level up,
characters,
you start over
basically?
again.
Yeah,
Like-
totally.
Yeah.
like Reporter Girl. and-
Like the leader of Cure is in there, and
TK is in
Rebecca
there.
Chang. Yeah,
Okay.
TK.
Like,
Except
one of the differences is you know that TK caused all this stuff like
Okay.
from the get go,
or did
or
he?
did it, or
I don't
did
know.
he? Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I mean, they are
But
acting
like you
there's-
see TK doing some bad stuff
Yeah.
like at the very beginning
yeah,
of the
as
game,
as
so-
opposed to in the last one, I guess.
yeah, which was a little
kind of a
ways
late
in.
game.
Yeah.
So again, this is like Gundam Wing style, like alternate universe. This
Yeah.
is
The
nothing
other
to do.
thing didn't happen.
Right,
This thing happened
Instead, although Chuck Green is in the game, but in a very different capacity.
right. Saw that. That's cool.
Yeah, I won't say exactly how, but
Uh,
it's so weird to see these cutscenes, which I in some cases remember almost line for line, because in playing a Dead Rising game, you see the first 2 or 3 hours of it like 3 or 4 times in a row, right? So some of those cutscenes are almost identical here, except that like lines have been changed here and there, so it fits with Frank West.
Can I ask you a question about this?
Sure.
Why?
I don't know.
Like, why?
I don't know.
Like, what?
I
Like,
don't know.
why?
I think they
been
thought.
asking
I think they
myself
thought
that.
that one of the things that game was missing was Frank West, and there were definitely like people that reacted poorly to the announcement of Chuck Green, and I don't know if they thought that this was going to be the thing that that gets those people on board. But originally, this did start as like Dead Rising 2 director's cut. Like they were like, oh, what's the stuff that we kind of left on the floor that we could put back in the game. There would be like a discount price kind of updated version, and I think along the way they said, well, what if we put Frank West in it, and then it became a bigger project.
Right, that's no longer a different cut.
Exactly.
That's-
Yeah. So, it did originally start as like we made all this stuff that didn't make it.
So does it feel like that stuff? Are there levels or something, like parts of the mall?
There's one
or-
new area.
One new area. It's like a little theme park off to the
Okay.
side. I haven't done a whole lot there yet. The story hasn't sent me there. I just kind of checked it out.
So what's your opinion on the protagonist? Like, does this feel like
I
a
mean,
truer sequel?
Frank West is a lovable guy, like, or a popular guy, a memorable guy. Let's say that,
Do you like this
He-
better than,
he had a certain attitude,
or just different?
it's different. I've seen a lot of comments on our site on like trailers and Jeff's preview from a while back and stuff that like a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'd skip Dead Rising 2. Like this seems like a good time to pick this up because it's only $40."
Right.
They've added a lot of mechanical stuff. I should say that like as a game, it's better.
Streamlined?
You can drop waypoints on the map, so the little arrow will point you to wherever your waypoint is. They already went to 3 save slots in 2. On top of that, now there are checkpoints, like automatic checkpoints. So you can't really get in the situation of like stumbling into a psychopath fight, which
Oh.
could have been like a complete dead end in the first game, where you
Yeah.
could like practically have to start over if you couldn't beat it. So you can always roll back to a checkpoint, which was
And you just
probably
reload that?
5.
Hey everyone, it's Tuesday, May the 17th, 2011, and you're listening to The Giant Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Davis. Joining me in the room, in the chamber, here in
Beautiful downtown Burbank.
in Studio City, California,
Vinny!
Vinny Caravella.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Oh man, Osama bin Laden joke. What, too soon?
Vinny, you're crazy,
We've
man.
got a great show for you today.
We have an amazing show
We have
for
an
you today.
amazing show for you today in the studio.
It's one of
Kate
my
Blanchett
favorite
back there.
It was always one of my favorite things with Conan was how unconvincing. Like every episode, you gotta say we have just an amazing show for you today. It's like, there are some days someone should just cut that
every single time he said that, which would be every single show.
You know, this show's not that great.
And he would even do that enough that became a running gag of this show's not so great. No, I'm just joking. It's an amazing,
It's an amazing show. But today, seriously, folks.
No, for real.
This show.
We knock your
This
dicks
is
in the
why.
dirt.
This is why we do this.
This is
for days like today.
All comes together for moments like this with Mr. Patrick Klepek.
Coffee cake is pretty good.
Yeah, there was a full half sheet of coffee cake in the office.
Thank you, Will Smith's birthday.
That's right. Welcome to Coffee Cake.
I'm tired.
It was a big coffee cake.
Ate all this coffee cake and now it's...
There's no caffeine.
I thought this was supposed to give me energy. It says coffee right in the name.
You can't just have... Someone should have just said you can only have one, and then I would have been all right.
Please take one.
But they were like...
There was no limit.
Like, just eat as much as you want.
Just
right
for this podcast, there was still a whole fourth left, and I was like, all right.
I'll keep eating the coffee. What's your thoughts on the coffee cake?
It's pretty good.
It is actually pretty good.
It's actually pretty delicious.
Some people were complaining about it being too crumbly.
That's what a coffee cake
pretty
does.
much every time I bite, I need like 3 more napkins to clean myself
Who
up.
the hell is going to complain about free coffee cake?
I think Melissa was complaining because she bought the coffee
Okay,
cake.
she can complain.
She's allowed to.
She had expectations for the coffee
You
cake.
didn't see my anonymously sourced story today talking about the crumbly coffee cake?
Bringing it all out from the inside. And that fourth voice you hear is Mr. Bradley Shoemaker, who's in the process of furiously wolfing down an apple.
In the role of guy who thought he could eat an apple before the podcast started.
Oh, that's a tragic story.
The problem is once you start, you have to go.
Of hubris
As the
downfall.
color starts to disappear.
Yeah, it starts to oxidize, and then your apple is ruined.
You got a brown apple.
Ew.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe you do.
I had to go to the doctor over the weekend.
Check out my brown apple.
Oh.
Did Grandma touch it?
That was me imitating you talking to the doctor.
No, I was saying, why is it that you and I are the only ones without food? Why are you and I the only ones who are able to speak freely here?
There's more coffee cake.
I don't. No, I'm saying we're good without food, but it shouldn't be us that are talking right now.
Why?
Because we'll just say awful things.
Oh.
If you just give you and me microphones, it's
Yeah,
just
talk about people's brown apples.
Yeah, just start talking about brown apples.
I was about to go wash all this
Dirty
apple
plums.
juice
Vinny,
off.
then Vinny just kicks out some casual racism.
So maybe you guys should fill time. Soon it comes out.
What? No, you're not going anywhere.
Oh man,
You're
my
not-
hands are
no,
all.
I don't care. You don't need to podcast with your hands.
My hands are all apple sticky.
Podcast with your mind.
Apple sticky.
Worth noting that Mr. Jeff Gerstmann's not with us today because he's in the
He's
City of
disgusted.
Angels.
He wouldn't be part of this.
He said, "No, if people are going to eat food
What color
in
is
the
your
podcast
apple?
room,
Let me just say, brown. I'm out.
I'm out."
Ran out of Grandma's cookies, and unfortunately, Jeff just moved on.
He's doing some pre-E3 shit right now.
I mean, he's not down there to clean up that town.
I hope he's doing that as well. If I'm whatsoever, better clean up those streets.
Acting out some of the crimes from LA Noir.
Indeed.
We'll expect his shield and his piece on our desk.
That's right.
On Monday.
No, he
Gun
gets
in
his,
your
he
badge.
gets his little. He gets a little taste of E3. A good taste.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
Hopefully, he'll come back with stories aplenty. A lot of
Which
a lot
I
of
can't tell you.
I can't. I mean, I don't even really know.
They
But
went down for an E3 tasting menu.
a number of publishers have these pre-show events with a majority, the lion's share of the content embargoed until E3 time.
The most fantastic part, though, being that as we continue to wildly speculate about games, he now has to just shut up.
Yeah, it's like he knows
He's
all
just,
of
I
the
can't.
facts about everything.
Now anything I say could be held against me. So,
So I just can't say anything at all.
say, well,
So,
oh, well, guess what? I think's gonna be
so
there.
he'll be back next week,
Snoopy. Yeah.
but he will be completely silent. Might as well just not record his channel.
You could just record it, but just mute it, so it just the conversations don't make any
Just
sense.
put a tone underneath the entire thing. Just beep the entire
Just
time.
just constant. Not even when he's
Yeah,
talking.
just the whole time.
Oh, that wouldn't be crazy making. I should do that.
You're right. You goddamn brown apple.
Fear box in every episode of the podcast.
That's not good. No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
All right, Brad's finished up his apple.
All right, let's start this podcast.
Beardy Brad, ready to go.
Man, yeah. This is my game review and beard.
This is a solid
my-
game review and beard,
This
sir.
is my have not left the house for 4 or 5 days.
That's an admirable amount of growth for
Yeah.
the amount of time that you were out.
In fairness, I don't think I had shaved for a few days before that.
All right, but
This is probably more like a
you
week.
ducked out.
Kind of ruining the story.
Sorry.
But you ducked. It's even still. That's like for a solid week. That's good growth.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
couldn't do that over a course of a couple of months.
That's flattering, thank you. So you and Jeff, all right.
I can't do.
You
Yeah,
and Jeff
Laces
are in the
I
spotty,
will.
spotty facial hair
I will
club.
always look like I'm 16 until at least I'm 45.
You just have like the thin mustache and that's it, or something.
I just look like a dirty sexual predator.
Oh.
I will pay good money to see you as a dirty sexual predator.
I have some pictures when Katie asked me. She's like, we've been together for a good long time. I want to see if it'll fill out. And I was like, I don't want to see if it'll fill out. She's like, oh no, come on. So we did it.
Give it a try.
We got about like 8 weeks in, and I was getting some real strange looks on the streets, and I was like still going to like events for games, like wearing this, but like trying to like play it up. It's a funny joke.
Yep.
My girlfriend
this is
thinks it's
ironic.
funny, and then eventually I just woke up and I was disgusted with myself, and I just shaved it off.
Did you ever trim it down to just a mustache?
Oh, that would just be arrested.
Maybe my favorite potential look for Patrick Klepek.
We'll see.
That hair, just a nice thin, awful
Maybe,
little mustache.
maybe after E3, maybe I could be convinced.
Yeah.
I like a good bad mustache. I'm not gonna lie.
That happened to me the last time I had a real beard. Like, the kind of beard that you keep and
some depth.
trim and, you have a beard. It's
Yeah.
not just stubble or whatever. And then, how you decide to get rid of it and you think, man, I should do some funny stuff with what's left before I get rid of it all.
Well, you do your short afternoon of, all right, shave this much of the facial hair and run around
Look at
like
that
that for a
goatee.
bit.
Now I have a
That's
goatee.
crazy.
Now I have a
Yeah.
Fu Manchu. Now I have
Now
the
I'm a
chaplain.
pirate.
Now I have like the chaplain push broom.
You mean the Hitler mustache?
No, I
Everyone
don't.
puts the Hitler mustache and then runs around their apartment going, I got a Hitler mustache! I got a Hitler mustache! And you'd like maybe take a picture, but then you shave it off before you ever step outside your house because you can't wear that shit.
Well, I stopped at Selleck.
Okay.
I had a good Tom Selleck
well,
going
you actually
on.
went out with that.
So that's where I was going
That
with
was
that.
handsome.
Oh, no,
That
it
was
wasn't.
good, yeah.
It was hot.
Yeah, that was
it
terrible.
was solid.
That
It
was
was
pretty
a
good.
really good
Universal
mustache.
consensus.
Yeah, everyone that's seen it loves that
I
mustache.
really wish I had not posted that picture.
It was so good. It was
but
really
That was
solid.
really handsome.
What didn't you like about it?
You'd have to ask all the people around me because when I went out with the mustache,
You're going
it was not well received in person.
you're going out with people that can't grow mustaches.
I went to Steph's for a couple hours after that. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, this will be funny. Everybody will laugh and think it is ironic and amusing.
Yeah.
It's just a few people laughed, but for the most part,
So you're
it
in
was
the
just-
wrong bar.
And the thing it's the pretty boy thing though. It's like like Brad Pitt can wear a mustache because it's like everything else is working so well.
Yeah.
You wear the mustache, it's like you're only offsetting a little bit. So I think people were just upset that you were like scarring up this otherwise good
that's-
look.
you flatter me.
Because the Tom Selleck mustache does not go into hipster territory, or does it?
I don't think so.
I don't know that I would call Brad's a Selleck though. I mean, it was a full mustache.
Yeah, it was full. I don't know.
but you didn't have the depth. You didn't quite have the.
'Cause he has a 3D mustache.
He definitely
His protrudes.
Yeah, his comes out at you from the screen.
That probably would take a few months to really work up. You'd have to.
I mean, it was good. It was a good, clean, well trimmed mustache,
You would-
and I
you would-
appreciated it.
You'd have to trim and shape that thing to get the full effect.
It
You don't
take-
get a mustache named after you without a little work.
It takes a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, that's true.
It takes a while. People don't realize, Vinny.
No.
I'd like to see you with just a mustache.
Just a full mustache?
Just a full mustache.
I'll go once in a while.
I just kind of want to see everyone at some point with just a full mustache.
Mine's a little more piratey.
It is May.
Yeah.
It's
Wait.
kind of thin.
Mustache May.
Yeah, we just don't have a big upper lip.
No, my dad's got the full big mustache, cop mustache.
Does he get
Oh, yeah?
food caught in it?
Yeah. But now it's like, it's got gray in it and stuff, so it's.
Does he have a mustache comb
I don't
to
think
get
so.
the food out?
I don't think so. When he shaves his mustache, it looks weird. I don't know. Mustaches.
You haven't seen me without a mustache
In a while.
in a long time.
Without some facial hair, for sure.
Yeah. And it will be a long while longer.
Time is money.
Keeping it,
Brad.
goddammit.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Vinny Caravella.
Ryan Davis.
How's it going?
It's going well. I got over some little.
You were
sickies.
sick last week.
Yeah, it's still hanging in there.
We all become paralyzed with fear when Vinny Caravella gets sick. It's like, I know. What do we do? Vinny's not here.
I don't know how to work anything.
I don't know what to do.
I just felt real bad because I'd been going to a couple of doctors' offices, so I probably picked up something there. I have to guess. because nobody else in the office was sick, so I knew I was the vector.
So if anyone else got sick in the office,
So I actually took a
Subject
sick
zero,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, so like if somebody else had been sick in the office, then I probably would have just come in. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, it's not me.
Old patient zero Caravella.
Right, so like I knew that like, oh crap, they're all just gonna pin this one on me if
I come in,
and
people
then,
get sick, that's my ass.
No, so I took one of those days.
it was
off.
good. It was thoughtful of you to take that sick day because right now would be a shit time for people to get
man.
sick.
But taking a sick day kind of sucks because you're sick.
Right, it's like, oh, day off from work,
No.
where I feel awful
Oh,
the
just
entire
Can't
terrible.
move
time.
out of this bed.
Yeah, and you just kind of just wallow in your own sick.
You can't you can't enjoy anything that you would
No.
spend your time doing.
You're like, I'm gonna get so much done today.
The games are too intense.
You're like, I don't even want to think about it.
I
I just want to stop using tissues.
just bore OJ and NyQuil. Just put them in a great
and
big
I can't
bucket.
sleep because every time my nose is all stuffed out. It was bad, but it was just like a cold.
Yeah, it seemed like you're expectorating maybe a little bit still, but
Yeah. So it's in there.
you got some sun this weekend though. I will say that.
Yeah. Then on Sunday I went on a boat.
You went on a boat.
I went on a boat and
What
it
brought
was
on the boat trip?
Sailboat. So for Christmas,
it
my
a toy
parents got no, not a toy boat, not a toy boat,
toy
not
boat?
a toy boat,
Toy boat.
not a toy
Toy
boat,
boat.
not a toy
Toy
boat,
boat.
not a toy boat, not a toy boat.
Toy boat.
For Christmas, my parents got for me and for Jesse, they got this is like brunch on a sailboat thing, and we used
Wait a
it.
minute.
You sound like you kind of brushed that off. You made a face.
For Christmas, my parents got for us a brunch on a sailboat.
Sounds magical.
Yeah.
It sounds like a wonderful time for a young
fantastic, fantastic time.
Actually, a sailboat
Sailboat.
powered by the wind.
Oh, and also a motor if you
Okay,
like.
okay.
I think all sailboats could pretty much have to have a motor
Yeah,
on them at
that's
this
okay.
point. So very briefly, like when we imagined it, we were like, oh, I guess we're going to be on this big boat in a cabin and sitting on a table eating brunch. It was like a schooner with a bench seating, and there's like everybody's like sitting like on a bench seat, but like thigh to thigh.
Yeah.
And like you get up and you get like some bagels and some cold cuts and stuff, and then like sit
Sit
back
back
down.
down.
Everybody sit back down. We're gonna put the sails up. It was weird. But
So it was not like a large luxury yacht
no,
where you're being
no.
served
This
champagne.
is like 30 dudes